How's it going? Give me a kiss.
Well, you know, what? Well, you know, it's going.
A few moments later.
I think you need to go and do it then.
I'm going to.
Go.
This.
She doesn't one time say she wanted to be with me. All she did was talk about her kids.
Over the years, we've seen relationships crash and burn in a matter of weeks, sometimes in a matter of days, but Stan, the man here, pulled it off in just a mere few hours. This relationship is an absolute mess. I've never seen people argue so much so quickly. The way that these two start arguing immediately, you'd think that they've been trapped in a toxic relationship for decades. You'd have no idea that this is actually one of the only times they've met in person, and it's the first time they're seeing each other in years. It comes as no surprise that this was a disaster, considering that Stan met Lisa on a sugar daddy website and the relationship is entirely transactional. I know I've said this many times, but this is without a doubt one of the worst couples I've ever seen on a show like this.
Back in the day, dating was simple. You just meet somebody and go in to get a milkshake or something. Those days are long gone.
Back in the day, you used to be able to just get a soda pop at a drive-in, but now you have to go on a sugar daddy website and date a convicted felon. There's no other option. That's it. Those are the only two options. Times have really changed. You know, Stan, there's quite a lot of in-between there. You don't have to date somebody who only wants you for your money just because the internet exists. He's acting like just because times have changed, now he has to have a weird relationship with an inmate who's 20 years younger than him. Like, oh, I guess this is what I gotta do to find love. You know, that's the way things are nowadays. Or maybe you're just out of your mind. Like, that's also a possibility you haven't considered.
Oh, yeah. Got another one here for you.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Healthy.
She's very healthy. Not hurt all the time. All these gals I've dated, their knee hurts, their back hurts, their arm hurts.
Healthy.
Is that a normal reaction if you're showing a picture of you and your girlfriend to your friends and they're like, oh wow, she's healthy? Okay, yeah. I mean, I know they're only saying that because they know she was in prison and she's done drugs before, so they're probably just surprised. I love Stan's maniacal little rant about not wanting to date people in his age group. It's so funny because he seems like someone who doesn't want to be bothered with things, like he wants someone to be independent, and yet his girlfriend is going to get out of jail and be completely reliant on him.
Hey, what are you doing, sweetheart? We gotta get some clothes and get you makeup.
About to put a dent in your pocket, right?
You're gonna put a big dent in my pocket, baby.
My gut feeling and my real major concern is that she may be using him as a sugar daddy.
Oh no, that's exactly what's happening. Like, that's quite literally what's happening. That's how he met her. This is not one of those situations where we're like, oh, I wonder if she's using him for his money. We have to keep an eye out. That's exactly what's happening. It's out in the open. It's not up for debate here. This doesn't require any detective work. There's no digging needed. You heard what just happened. I love how this guy Stan is just another version of Gino. Like, that genre of person, they must be everywhere.
Good.
I think this is the end of my search. I probably spent about $5,000 on Lisa.
Cool.
I don't care what they think if she's using me for money. That's their opinion, that's their thoughts, and who cares? I love her.
It's so funny how he's saying they can have their opinion, it doesn't really matter. Isn't that your opinion too? Like, don't you agree that she's using you for your money? That's how you guys met in the first place? To be honest, I don't really understand what the hell their relationship is or what the timeline looks like. According to him, they only met in person a couple times, and then one day he woke up and she just didn't respond to him anymore, and he found out she was in prison. It's truly a love story for the ages. It sure beats getting a soda pop and a milkshake at the drive-in. To be honest, this just sounds like they hooked up a few times and now they're forcing a relationship out of this weird sugar daddy situation. Anyway, in this next scene, they're on the phone and she's talking about how she got into a fight and got some of her hair torn out, so she had to shave her head. I guess Stan tries to comfort her and make her feel better, but his choice of words is hilarious.
I just feel awful with the way I look right now, and I'm not sure if you're gonna find me attractive.
I will be attracted to you, honey, even if you looked like a boy, because I like the way you are.
Ugh.
Your personality.
Why did he say it like that? Why did he have to do that? She never even said anything about looking like a boy. She just said she had to shave her head.
Even if you looked like a boy.
So listen, Stan, I had to cut my hair really short because I got into a fight and some of my hair got pulled out, so you may not find me that attractive right now. Well, that's okay though, because even though you look like a dude, that's cool with me, because it's your personality and it's what's on the inside that matters. On the inside of the dude that you now look like. But yeah, the last thing I want is for you to feel self-conscious about the fact that your hair makes you look like a boy.
I need all the help I can get. So Lisa coming. And Not bad.
Not bad. Still got it, he says, as he looks like he just had a vision of his own death in the future. You still got it, Stan, he says, as he stood in the mirror, paralyzed with fear. Anyway, now Stan is going to look at wigs for Lisa, and he just continues to talk about the fact that he thinks she looks like a boy.
She's saying she looks like a boy because of her hair. She's maintained her figure because she says that she's working out 2 hours a day.
So far, the only thing Stan has talked about when it comes to Lisa is her appearance. So according to Stan, we've learned so far that she's healthy, she's not old, she currently looks like a boy, and she's maintained her figure. I think it goes without saying that this guy is, pretty much completely out of his mind. As you will see, he doesn't really want Lisa as an individual person. He doesn't want everything that comes with her. He just wants an idealized version of who she is that he's built up in his mind. As soon as she starts talking about her family, he's like, wait a minute, you never told me you had other people in your life. Why didn't you tell me you had a family? Nobody, who has a family?
I'm picking her up Saturday. And then here's another one.
Okay, so she had blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know how long it is now?
Well, she says she looks like a boy.
All right, we get it.
So
Give it a rest.
I like what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Why does he have to say that to the wig specialist? Like, why don't you just say that she has short hair right now, or she had to shave her head? Is it because he wants her to look like a boy? I don't know. This is like the 5th time he's mentioned it.
So are you gonna be the sugar daddy or the boyfriend,
both.
Stan? Okay, both. All right.
So while Stan is busy in La La Land fantasizing about being with Lisa and spoiling her, her life is the complete opposite. She is nearing the end of a 10-year sentence, and she clearly has a lot more to deal with than Stan is aware of, which I feel like anybody with common sense would know that someone needs time to adjust after being in prison for 10 years. Stan doesn't really want to deal with her problems at all, or even hear about her problems. He just wants to buy her things. So anyway, now she calls Stan to inform him that her brother just got arrested and the bail is 30 grand.
Hey, baby.
I'm kind of devastated. My brother went and got a new charge. He was eluding and fleeing from the police, and I guess he was put on a high-speed chase. So
Oh, my gosh.
Oh my God.
the bond is 30,000. I don't know whether to chalk it up to the game and let him do his time or find out.
So yeah, that right there just told us quite a lot. She called Stan and she's like, oh no, my brother got arrested and there's a $30,000 bail. I don't know if I should help him or not. She is not in any position to help him financially, so I find it interesting that she phrases it in a way where she's trying to decide if she should help him, when in reality she's asking Stan for the money. So basically she called Stan to tell Stan that she's trying to decide if she wants to use Stan's money to bail her brother out. But hey, at least her leg doesn't hurt. This sounds like a total nightmare, but she hasn't complained about her shoulder, has she?
Her back hurts, her arm.
You think we can help him, babe? Please, Stan.
I don't know what to tell you on that, baby doll. It's, if you bail him out, it's just gonna let him do it again.
Stan, you just don't get it. He'll be so grateful that he'll never commit another crime ever again. That's how these things work. I hate to agree with Stan here, but if her brother figures out that there's some millionaire Gino archetype clone guy who's ready to just dish out thousands of dollars whenever you get into a high-speed chase, I don't think he's gonna learn his lesson. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he ramped up the high-speed chases. I mean, at this point, Stan seems like some goofy side character in GTA who just loans you a ton of money.
I think he needs to stay in because he's not learned from the other times.
I come from where you came from, so I know all about. You know how many times I've been to prison? 7. And it took me 7 times to get it right.
She says it's taken 7 times for her to get it right, but she's still in prison as she's saying that, so how does she know she's gotten it right if she's still in... Alright, you know what? I'm not going to ask these questions. Look, of course, depending on the crime, I believe in forgiveness. I think people can change, but I think that's an absolutely ridiculous thing to say to someone when you're asking them to bail out your brother. What kind of argument is that? Stan is like, well, he's just going to do it again, and she's like, yeah, well, that's the point. He may need to do it 7 more times. You may need to bail him out more before he learns his lesson. Shouldn't she be trying to convince him that this isn't going to happen again? Not that it's part of the process for it to happen 7 times.
I would prefer she doesn't associate with anyone in her family. They've got some problems.
At the end of the day, it's only money. You think I'm easy to...
No, actually, Lisa, it's not just money at the end of the day. It's the crime that your brother committed in order to require the money for the bail. I know she's been around this kind of thing her entire life, so she's very desensitized to it. But it's pretty astonishing to think this is just about money when your brother got into a high-speed chase. Like, maybe don't do that. It's not your responsibility to use your boyfriend's money to bail your adult brother out of prison when he makes a huge mistake, like getting into a high-speed chase. So anyway, the next day, Stan is walking around with a bunch of mannequin heads, and he invites his friend over to get his opinion on all the wigs he bought for Lisa. She ends up calling him again, and she's talking about her brother, and she sounds super stressed out and just all over the place. And it becomes very obvious that she is in no position whatsoever to be in a relationship.
They won't give him any numbers to contact anyone because they're pretty mad at him. I mean, they threw out 10 spikes to get him to pull over.
No kidding. Wow. I think,
You're sitting on a cell.
So she's talking about something really serious. She's like, they had to throw down 10 spikes to stop my brother, and now he's hallucinating in a cell by himself. And Stan is just kind of like, all right, when can we talk about the wigs? Because I have 3 different ones here, and I wanted to get your opinion on them. These two are on completely different wavelengths. There is no way this is ever going to work out. Stan just wants to be a sugar daddy and live a quiet little peaceful life. And Lisa is like, can you give me $30,000 to bail out my brother because he keeps driving 230 miles per hour down the highway? Also, can you buy me a car because I kind of want to drive 230 miles per hour down the highway?
so anyway, you starting to get excited about getting out of there?
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't want to leave prison? But I mean, I've done this 7 times.
Oh, that's promising. That makes me feel so much better. Yeah, of course I can't wait to leave, but I've done this 7 times, so kind of experienced. I know what I'm doing here. You know what though? So far, I at least have to give her credit for her honesty with this guy. I mean, she's straight up telling him it's very likely she's gonna go back. How can you hear that from someone and think that everything's gonna be fine? She's literally telling you right now it's gonna happen again.
Up there, I don't really know which name to go by.
What do you mean?
Remember, I'm married to 2 guys, so
Eventually, we got to get back to your maiden name.
Oh yeah, she's married to 2 different guys apparently, or something like that. I don't really know what's going on because she doesn't know what's going on. In America, obviously you can't be married to 2 people at once, so I think she just doesn't know how divorced she is with one of her marriages. She's not sure, you know, the percentage divorced. It's so stressful just watching this. Like, you can't juggle a relationship and a divorce and trying to bail out your brother and dealing with the fact that you're on parole. Stan keeps saying he feels like he can give her the love that she deserves, which is, you know, the classic I can fix her attitude. But I don't think he understands that trying to rush her into all of this is probably just going to make things worse.
Did I hear correctly? Did she say she's married to 2 people now?
Well, she's not sure.
Oh.
Oh, my God.
She's married to one guy, but she thinks they got divorced, but she's not positive.
She thinks she got, how you say, divorce? Is that how you pronounce it?
Divorce?
Okay, so is there a single good thing about any of this? Like one redeeming quality about either of them? Their relationship is like a giant shit snowball rolling down a mountain. Right when you think it's about to slow down or stop, there's a slight breeze and then another avalanche. You know how hurricanes are categorized? I feel like this is a category 5 relationship. Some of the relationships we've seen, they looked bad, but you could kind of brave the storm, you know? But not this one. This is a case where you know it's going to get really dangerous, so you're better off just evacuating.
She wedding material, bud?
I would say so.
Hold my bones.
I'm drawn toward her.
I didn't hear her say, I love you. I don't care what we do as long as I'm with you. Oh, I'm so looking forward to seeing you. I just want to spend. I didn't hear any of that.
You know, she feels pretty strong about me.
Yeah, his friend has a really good point. She never says anything about her feelings towards Stan. Every time she calls, she is just frantic and stressed out, and it doesn't even sound like she's really looking forward to leaving that much. Stan keeps calling himself a sugar daddy, so I'm not sure what he's really expecting here. He says they're in love, but we never hear any of that from her. We only hear his side of things, so we really don't know how she feels about him at all.
Dash is seeing red flags, but I'm not seeing any. I don't think his concerns are valid, but everybody's entitled to their own opinions.
It's actually astonishing he says there are no red flags, because I think every single sentence out of both of their mouths is a red flag. So anyway, the big day is here, and now Stan is ready to go pick up Lisa from prison. He's expecting everything to be magically perfect from here on out, because once you're out of prison, everything's beautiful and fine. There's never anything else that could possibly go wrong. So Stan goes to the prison, and he's like wandering around in the parking lot celebrating that he's about to scootily poop. He's doing the little scootily poop shuffle, and then like 10 minutes go by, and he's all worried now that she's not going to be released. Like, he thought she was going to be released at 8 o'clock, and oh no, now it's 8:10, now it's 8:15, she's never going to get out, as if things like this are ever on time.
I don't know what's holding her up. She should have been out of there 15 minutes ago. Cutting into my time now.
You tell him, Stan.
I would think they'd have the nerve to call me if they weren't going to release it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's at the top of their list of priorities, to call Stan and let him know that his sugar baby isn't going to be let out on time. Dude, you're not picking up your daughter from a school field trip. I don't think they're going to update you on what's going on. Does he think that that's how jail works? Like, there's a prison guard inside that's saying, oh shit, she's not going to be out on time. We got to call her fiance / sugar daddy and let him know.
Hey, Lisa, baby doll. What are you doing with that big old box?
Oh, you know.
Even if you look like a boy. Souvenirs?
Yeah. Yeah, you look good.
So in my opinion, she doesn't really seem that happy to see him. She's kind of just like, oh, hey, how's it going, Stan? What's up? It could just be her personality, like she says at one point, but it also just seems like they're not in love. And then she says that every other time she's been released from prison, she had a death wish and just wanted to go right back, and now the only difference for her is Stan, so that's not exactly a good sign.
Being with Stan. I mean, that's what's different for me this time. I feel like Stan is kind of like my spiritual soulmate. He might be 65, but in spirit, he's not. He's kind of perfect. He's adorable.
Yeah, the problem is usually when things are perfect, they don't fall apart in just a few hours. You're gonna rely on Stan, of all people, to help keep you out of trouble. Imagine doing 10 years in prison and then immediately you have to go to Stan's house and live there. I suspect most people would just go straight back. So Lisa gets in the car and Stan wastes no time digging around the back seat for all of the wigs that he bought her. He's like touching her head and telling her which one he likes best, and she seems like she just wants to leave.
Oh, no. I wouldn't wear that.
You wouldn't wear that for
No. I figured you might like the stud look.
me? No. I prefer that long hair.
But, you know, they kind of liked it in there. You know that?
Well,
Oh yeah, that reminds me, I think she said she had multiple relationships while she was in prison. I'm not sure if Stan knows about that or how much he cares, but later on there's a point where Lisa is texting one of her friends from prison and she's encouraging Lisa to use Stan for his money, essentially.
One time I went over to his house and he proceeded to take me down in the basement where he's got this little room set up. And I mean, so yeah, when I walked in, this is what I found. A straitjacket hanging from the rafters.
Oh, jeez. So yeah, here's the thing. That straitjacket is actually for Stan. I guess that's something. You know what? We don't have to talk about that. But I think what happens is she takes her anger out on Stan. Like he just acts annoying all day and pisses her off, and then she kicks him in the head and ties him up. That's what their relationship is. That's actually their relationship at its best. Like that's when it's working. So things are going well. Lisa puts on one of the wigs, but then she gets a phone call from her son, and you can tell Stan is very bothered by this.
Oh, you're upset right now and you're crying, so you gotta tell me why. You're not alone. I'm not going anywhere, so I know that I was gone for a long time.
Stan is losing his patience over here. He's like, really? She's gonna call her son? Is it gonna be all day with this? She hasn't seen him in 10 years and she has to call him right now? I just brought a bunch of wigs for her and danced around the parking lot, and now she's pretending like I don't even exist. She has 2 other sons. Let me guess, is she gonna call them too? Does she have to talk to them suddenly? You know, Stan, you don't have to date someone who has all of these problems. It sounds like you didn't even have patience for someone whose leg hurts.
you're just getting into the best part of your life now if you just can break away from all those problems.
What do you mean by break away? I don't know
Solve
what you
them,
mean.
cure them, and get rid of them.
Okay, well, you're totally clueless.
Solve them, cure them, and get rid of them. That's nice. It's very clear that Stan sees all of this as something she shouldn't be bothered by, even though it's her son who she wasn't around for, so she wants to right all of her wrongs. It sounds like he would be happy if she just completely ditched her family and didn't talk to them ever again. I understand that some of her family is a bad influence on her, but you can't tell someone not to see their children. That's ridiculous. And also, she's only been out for a few hours, and he's already upset that she's spending just a couple minutes to call her son.
When you walk out of here, it's not all, peaches and cream and everything's just great.
If you had no kids and no relatives, it would be great.
Look, now he's all serious. He's gone into serious Stan mode. He's not messing around anymore. Look, I know her family dynamic is probably going to be more stressful than the average person, but how can you tell someone it would be better if they didn't even have any relatives? It's like he expects her to just say, yeah, you're right, Stan. Let me just block all of my relatives, including my kids, completely out of my life so I can go wear wigs with you and go to some creepy scootily poop dungeon in your basement. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this video, and the shit hasn't even hit the fan yet. The next one is going to be a non-stop disaster. They get into an argument, and then I think Stan kicks her out 2 separate times and tells her that she doesn't know how to raise a family. He says that to her like she's unaware that she's been in prison for 10 years and was unable to raise her children. Anyway, if you want to see things get even worse, then come by next time. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and I'll see you later.
I just feel awful with the way I look right now, and I'm not sure if you're gonna find me attractive.
Not like, just like, for example, 55%.
Even if you looked like a boy.